my people, my mother people. What is the deal? We back in the building. Y'all know who I am. Y'all know who the hell I am, man. Listen. Thank y'all all. This is for all of y'all. Thanks for requesting. Y'all wanted to see the Money Game Part 3. Ren, UK artist extraordinaire. All right, so we done watched 1. We done watched 2. Now it's time for the finale. Before I jump into that, just want to let y'all know, I got merch. Don't be scared to support your boy. I do this to Ren's uninvited reaction when I did that. Of course, y'all got the Mount MF People shirt. You feel me? Go cop one. I also just put this art on my eBay too. Go cop some art, man. I appreciate it. I love sending these out. To the people that buy. Yeah, it's a dope experience, bro, that I get to share with y'all, So go support. Now that that's out the window, without further ado, I'm getting my pen ready. Welcome to the channel where I let the music humble me so you don't have to. The music's gonna do it. Okay? So, hey, if we being nice, we being nice. But if we're gonna bring the feist, I'm gonna bring it. Let's get into it, y'all. Y'all saw me. I was about to say, what the hell? No, YouTube, come on now. Don't be making my video skip. From the top. He's still held captive? Or is it a new person? It's gotta be the same person. Okay, Ren. I said I was sorry, bro. I might have gave one of your songs that was a perfect 10 at 8.5. I might have did that. But don't hunt me down. I don't got time. I'm cool, bro. I promise. Look, this bitch ain't got no bullets in it. What you want me to do? I'm cool. Bro, the melody, boom. Now y'all know how I do this. Do I have to remind you every video? You know I'm gonna pause and talk shit first. Then I'm gonna run it the fuck back. I love that melody, bro. Come on, man. I can flip that right now. knew that was Ren. Okay. I just want to say one thing. I think I'm finally starting to really understand the look that Ren brings to the whole equation. You know what I'm saying? I'm starting to understand the look now. I think when we're looking at artists and their looks, some artists don't really match. I guess how they like. I think sometimes I don't really match the songs that I make. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I make songs. I'll be like, some tatted motherfucker needs to be rapping this. Like I don't have not one tattoo. You know what I'm saying? But I get the look now. The look almost is like Italian mobster. You know what I'm saying? But outside of the suit, that's how I'm still starting to kind of envision, bro, like an Italian mobster for some reason. It's kind of like it's like that attitude of a dare I say, or Peaky Blinders. Ain't that the show on Netflix? It's kind of like a Peaky Blinders vibe. You know what I'm saying? I didn't get to finish that show though, man, but it was pretty good. It was started out pretty good. I'm gonna get back into the video. Y'all know I gotta have my little sidebars and shit, so shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear all that. I just wanted to see where y'all at. You know what I'm saying? That's the look I'm getting from bro. Let me back up just a teeny bit.
Tell you a story about a boy named Jimmy. 1 year old and his first words were mine, mine, gimme. 2 years old he was walking, 3 years old walking quickly. 4 years old he was running round the pavements of his city. 5 years old and his daddy told him, listen here son, you gotta learn to be a man. A man he works for what he wants. 6 years old and he's reading, writing, top of the bunch. And when he's 7, his progression made him student number 1. 8 years old and he's praised for unusual grades. 9, his parents paid for private school to nurture the flame. 10, 11, 12, 13, he ascends and ascends. His daddy tells him, son, money is the means to all ends. 14, solving complex mathematical equations. At 15, IQ 150, still elevating. 16, he develops complex software code.
All right. Remember what I said? The music humbles me, baby. So you don't have to. But listen, the story is quite sharp. I think that a lot of parents, they kind of tell their children the same thing, just out of the normal way that a good parents raise their children. So I don't want to blur the lines there. I know that he's going somewhere with this. I know he's going somewhere. I just think that first listen, I'm like, damn, that's kind of what I tell my kid. Like, you know, you gotta be this and you gotta be that if you want to be respected out in the world, and you know, if you want to have purpose, you gotta put your best foot forward. Now, what they do with that information at a good age is really up to them. But I just thought that was very interesting, you know, because what I can guess is the kid that he's talking about in the story might turn into a whole different beast, even though given the proper tools to succeed in life, it's up to the child on how to use them. But I still don't know the full picture of how the parents are. So let's go back and press play.
14, solving complex mathematical equations at 15, IQ 150, still elevating. 16, he develops complex software code that detects weaknesses in cybersecurity protocols. 17, and he sells his vision, keeping the share. Not yet an adult, but he's practically a millionaire. 18, and his daddy tells him, now you're a man. This world don't give a damn about you, so take all that you can. 19, he turns a profit, stocks and shares, invest in product. 20, double down deposits. 21, his income rockets. 22, he learns the truth is just an obstacle to wealth. If you manipulate the data, then the lie will sell itself. 23, a life of luxury, crystal and cocaine. 24, he makes the Forbes list, they're applauding his name. 20.
See what I'm saying? God damn it! Now, hey, however you raise your child is how you raise your child. You know, but I think some of those morals were good. I just think it just depends on who your child will become. You don't always know, and that's the scary part. But I think with real life, I'm learning to feel as those moments come. So whatever comes to my life, I have to feel wherever I'm at with it. But I have to learn how not to become so attached to anything, whether it's money, a little bit of success. You know, I try not to become too attached with the fact that my daughter's getting older. I'm getting older. You gotta know how to let go. You know? So what I'm thinking is the dad in this story, he did the best he could and let go. Now that he's older, that son is older, he's doing cocaine and all this shit. Who knows where the story is about to go, okay? But y'all know I gotta pause and talk my shit. I got to. And I'm gonna play it back, no pauses, so get to know me. Let's run it back just a teeny bit.
You manipulate the data, then the lie will sell itself. 23, a life of luxury, crystal and cocaine. 24, he makes the Forbes list, they're applauding his name. 25, and his daddy tells him, listen here son, while you're sitting in that palace, that don't mean that you won. 26, a business shift, he switches business to arms. He's 27, dealing nuclear.
Can I say something? Stop crying. You know how I get down. His daddy tried to humble him. There's no such thing as a perfect person. Just because you're sitting up there, son, on that pedestal, it don't mean that you really made it anywhere. You still got a ticking clock on your head for when you check out, son. You got to understand that this thing that we call life ain't forever now. You got to end it to it. Now, digitally speaking, they're making platforms and computer systems that can house the spirit and the soul of a person, essentially, coding forever, even after they're gone. But physically, the real you has to depart from here someday. You know, technology has gone to an amazing height. But there's still a very authentic life and an authentic end that everyone must experience. So let me go back just a teeny bit, okay? Daddy tried to humble him. He
tells him, listen here son, while you're sitting in that palace, that don't mean that you won. 26, a business shift, he switches business to arms. He's 27, dealing nuclear and shells in Iran. 28, inside the Senate, money bought him a seat. He's 29, a role of counsel in the president's suite. Now he's 30, his daddy says you're losing the race. You're just a servant to the king, not even in second place. 31, a big maneuver for his daddy's approval, moving imports over borders from the exports out of Cuba. 32, moving grams, growing kilos to tons. He's 33, filling warehouses with powder and guns. 34, turf war with nobody to stop it. Blind eye from the po-po inside of his pocket.
No, I'm gonna go back. This shit is getting out of hand. I think I need a little bit more of a look into the Father. You know, and hopefully that's what Ren gives me as I continue on with this video. A more look into the Father, because what do y'all think about the Father's tactics to raise the Son? I see that now it's almost like the Father is putting a lot of goals to be reached in front of the Son, a lot of expectations on the Son. But I just think that the Son is probably twisting this message and turning it into something totally different. That's what it feels like to me. I just don't want the blame to fall on the Father for how he turned out. But fathers do need to know balance when it's time to pull back. Let them figure out what they need to figure out and bump their head. But when it's time to pull back, it's time to pull back. You got to let a man be a man. You got to let a grown woman be a woman. You know? Because he's in his 30s and shit at this point, is what he said. And he just took and distorted. I feel like the Son is distorting this message from the Father. But let me go back some, man. He's distorting the fuck out of that shit. I want to go back a little further, okay?
The servant to the king, not even in second place. 31, a big maneuver for his daddy's approval. Moving imports over borders from the exports out of Cuba. 32, moving grams, growing kilos to tons. He's 33, filling warehouses with powder and guns. 34, turf war with nobody to stop it. Blind eye from the po-po inside of his pocket. 35, he gets the call. I'm sorry, son, but it's your father. Had a heart attack, I'm sorry, he's gone. 36, getting pissed off, abusing his product. 37, eyes glazed, disposition demonic.
Okay, so did Dad die? Is that what that meant? He said he's gone, so Dad is gone. Okay. Influence is gone. The reason for the constant grind is gone. Dad is gone. And before I pause, he said he's abusing the drugs that he's moving, and he's abusing substance, which tends to happen when you lose somebody that you care about. This is not me trying to guess what's next. This is just me unpacking it piece by piece, analyzing piece by piece, coming up with my own mind frame. I'm trying to visualize the story so I can put it all together in the end. And when I play the song back, it can make more sense to me. Okay, Dad's gone. So this is interesting. Let's just see how it affects his son a lot more clearly or closely here. Let me make sure that's what he said to Dad.
35, he gets the call. I'm sorry, son, but it's your father. Had a heart attack, I'm sorry, he's gone. 36, getting pissed off, abusing his product. 37, eyes glazed, disposition demonic. 38, with a prostitute, a moment of passion, heating up a silver spoon and then chasing the dragon. 39, getting reckless and hungry for power. Daddy's words are still driving him to kill and devour. Makes a move against the cartel, but the strategy's flawed. They retaliate and leave him in a hospital ward. A bullet buried in his vertebra and one in his leg. The doctor sighs and says, I don't think you'll be walking again. Fuck.
Oh, shit. But see, that's kind of throwing me, bro. That's throwing me for a loop here. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying that the story's being told bad. I'm not saying that it's dumb. No, I will not let it wait till it's done and over. Now, I will not let the song wait till it's over to get the, you know what I'm saying, to speak my mind. This is me listening to this shit for the first time. You have to understand that. And I like analyzing piece by piece. So, I guess as a father, I just feel a little I just feel a little disappointed. I feel a little disappointed that what the father instilled was distorted by the son, but it was also maybe laid on a little too heavily by the father. So maybe that can teach fathers to not lay it on so thick all the time. You know what I'm saying? Whatever leadership quality that you have as a dad, maybe don't lay it on so thick all the time. That's what I'm saying. Step back and let the child be a child. Let a teenager be a teenager. Let the adult be an adult. But man, it's crazy to not know how your children will take the messages that you give them. You don't even know how they'll take it. Now, if the father was utilizing that method of teaching as a manipulative structure or system to like make his son do the things that he ultimately did, it's mind-boggling. It's a little mind-boggling to me, man. So he apparently got shot and can't walk again. Let's keep going from there.
Let me tell you a story about a boy named Jimmy. He was 40 and he cursed the words mine, mine, gimme. 41 he wasn't walking, 42 not walking quickly, 43 never running round the pavements of his city, 44 inside a palace with a mountain of gold. But those riches turn to rubble when perspective evolves. Weighing heavy on his conscience is the value of gold. Lamborghini for a life, trading money for souls. Jimmy followed the code inside the land of the free. Put your hand inside the cookie jar, take more than you need. And his example is exaggerated versions of me. And it's a version of him, and it's a version of she, and it's a version of you. There's no escaping the blame. The way we live is parasitic. Fuck for money and fame. Call the music. This isn't entertainment. This is real life. The way we live is lunacy, community, it declines. Hyperpolarized, always fighting, then we divide. Truth is less important than the money that we designed. Money's an invention. Politics from our invention. They all come from people's ideas. Did I mention? Border's an invention. Law and order fuel the tension. It leads to people killing each other. My solution? Everything is subject to change. We could build utopias if individuals were taught to use their brains. But if we teach kids in schools to always be sheep and put themselves before the herd if there's more money for me, then there's no future I see where the humans survive. We're parasites inside a petri dish with cannibal minds.
Okay, let's unpack that bar. We gotta unpack that. I gotta go back and listen to that. I gotta go back.
Build utopias if individuals were taught to use their brains. But if we teach kids in schools to always be sheep and put themselves before the herd if there's more money for me.
Okay. If they teach kids to be sheep and put themselves before the herd if there's more money for me. Let me hear it one more time.
Individuals were taught to use their brains. But if we teach kids in schools to always be sheep and put themselves before the herd, if there's more money for me.
Okay. So what I got from that bar is like, you don't only get the opportunity to be a sheep if you're broke. If you're just working a 9 to 5, doing what the world tells you to do, doing what the system tells you to do and requires of you, you are a sheep. Or you can be a sheep as well if all you think of will make life worth living is money too. So you a sheep if all you do is follow the rules. That's what they consider a sheep, right? But you can also be a sheep from following the leadership of where money can take you. See, I just think it's different for different people. Like I said before, I grew up poor as shit. We didn't have shit. Like, bro, countless days I had to eat bread with ketchup on it. That's it. Disgusting. Bread with mayonnaise on it. Like, disgusting. Bread with butter on it. That's it. Now, mind you, some of that shit's kind of good. Like, you could make toast with that, right? But if you don't have nothing else to put in that fucking bread, but that, it kind of becomes a little, I don't know. It just becomes weird. It becomes odd that that's what you would choose to eat. But that's all you have. So we gonna finish strong on this video. We're gonna finish strong. I'm just trying to put that together. You could be a sheep either way. Whether you got money or not, you could be a sheep. Right? Is that pretty much what he was saying? I'm just thinking from a poor mind, like a poor man's mind. A man who was once poor as fuck. All we wanted was some money so we could change that. We could change that. You know? Could change the always having to live with a relative or a friend. Constantly moving schools. When all you wanted to do was feel planted. But I think people like me who have the background like us, you know, you and me and Ren, yeah, we understand all sides of the spectrum. We know what it's like to have or see too much money in a person's possession who doesn't know what to do with it, and it becomes dangerous. And we also know what it's like to be extremely poor or always on your last or living check to check. We know what all that's like. How do we escape? How do we bring that into the middle and balance that out? Almost, you know, in my mind. But let me go back a little bit and just press play. We're going to finish strong, I promise.
We're taught to use their brains. But if we teach kids in schools to always be sheep and put themselves before the herd, if there's more money for me, then there's no future I see where the humans survive with parasites inside a petri dish with cannibal minds. Mold will grow upon the surface and consume till it dies. And our fate could be the same without this story to the wise. "45. Jimmy comes home out."
Before he say this deep ass shit, bro, it has been so hot the last few days. That water probably feels cool. Bro, I bet that shit feel good. I'm just saying.
"45. Jimmy comes home out of the rain, soaking wet upon a wheelchair, drinking again. He is everything he wants, he is fortune and fame. He's a fortunate fool with an unfortunate fate. With a 45 caliber aimed at his brain. 45 a fitting number cause his age is the same. Here's the words of his father, it's such a damn shame. Then he presses on the trigger of a money game.
Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. I don't know, man. I hope I was connecting some dots there. But what I really wanted to do is just talk about the fathers. Cause I know it's like, if I'm not mistaken, it's mental health month for men out there. Shout out to the men out there, man. Y'all do the best you can. For you motherfuckers that don't do the best you can, you just gotta do better. Hello. You got to goddamn do better. I ain't gonna preach to you though, but listen. I just feel like so many things can be said about this. But ultimately, let me just give the story from where I heard it, front to back. I'm gonna make it quick. A father does the best he can to raise a son. The son kind of distorts the father's message, does whatever the fuck he wants to do, becomes a kingpin, damn near, gang affiliate, success in his own way, let greed get the best of him over territory, loses his legs in a gunfight, abuses drugs and alcohol, has to spend the rest of his life in a wheelchair, cannot take it, thinks of his father upon exiting the earth, shoots himself in the head. We need more. I need more on the father, bro. I need more on the father. Because the ways that the father taught that child, it didn't seem too bad to me. I'm just being real. It seemed like that father wanted to instill in his son some real life values, but the son just took it and ran with it in the all wrong direction. That's what I feel. That's just what I feel. So if anybody can touch on that for me and tell me what y'all think about that, that would be lovely to just, communicate about that in the comments. Y'all know I'm gonna play it back, man. I'm gonna play it back. I know y'all want to hear that again because I want to see that shit again too. Ren can for sure be in a movie. They need to put that boy in a movie. He really don't even need to be in one. We done saw so many great videos from him. It's like, just piece all that shit together. You pretty much got a movie right there. But yeah, he should definitely get a leading role doing some wicked ass character, bro. Wicked character, just dark evil character. Yeah, I can see him doing some shit that's wicked as fuck, but having a purpose behind the wicked activity. You know what I mean? But yeah, let's get back into this. Hold on, y'all. Let me get back into this real quick. Go ahead and mosey on over to the play button. Let's go.
you a story about a boy named Jimmy. 1 year old and his first words were mine, mine, gimme. 2 years old he was walking, 3 years old walking quickly. 4 years old he was running round the pavements of his city. 5 years old and his daddy told him, listen here son, you gotta learn to be a man. A man, he works for what he wants. 6 years old and he's reading, writing, top of the bunch. And when he's 7, his progression made him student number 1. 8 years old and he's praised for unusual grades. 9, his parents paid for private school to nurture the flame. 10, 11, 12, 13, he ascends and ascends. His daddy tells him, son, money is the means to all end.
Hold on, what did he say right there? Let me see if he put the lyrics down there. I couldn't make that out for some reason. I don't see the lyrics for this one. Sound like he said sins or something. Sins in the sand, but I could be wrong. Let me just look it up real quick. Bear with me, y'all. How y'all doing though? Talk to me in the comments, man. How y'all doing? How everybody doing? Y'all cool? Talk to me about the video. How y'all think about the father? What about the mom? The mom just didn't. He said the parents were, elevating the child and getting them in these private schools or whatever, these high class schools. But he didn't really mention much about the mom. So 8 years old and he's praised for unusual grades. 9, his parents paid for private school to nurture the flame. 10, 11, 12, 13. He ascends and ascends. Okay, ascends and ascends. All right, let's go back a little bit.
His parents paid for private school to nurture the flame. 10, 11, 12, 13, he ascends and ascends. His daddy tells him, son, money is the means to all ends. 14, solving complex mathematical equations. At 15, IQ 150, still elevating. 16, he develops complex software code that detects weaknesses in cybersecurity protocols. 17, and he sells his vision, keeping the share. Not yet an adult, but he's practically a millionaire. 18, and his daddy tells him, now you're a man. This world don't give a damn about you, so take all that you can. 19, he turns a profit, stocks and shares, invest in product. 20, double down deposits. 21, his income rockets. 22, he learns that truth is just an obstacle to wealth. If you manipulate the data, then the lie will sell itself. 23, a life of luxury, crystal and cocaine. 24, he makes the Forbes list, they're applauding his name. 25, and his daddy tells.
That's important. I think that's important. Go ahead, explode. Don't explode. Because when he was talking about cybersecurity, you know how smart you have to be to master that? I was looking into a cybersecurity course. I actually have the book to learn cybersecurity. And I think I still might take that endeavor someday. Excuse me, but like, to have conquered that at such a young age, and not only did you conquer that cybersecurity, essentially you discovered or created a system that finds fault in cybersecurity systems, I think is what he said. He said 22, he learned that truth is just an obstacle to wealth. If you manipulate the data, then the lie will sell itself. So I think maybe in his 20s, the son in his 20s, he just began to smell his shit. He began to feel himself. You know what I'm saying? He started feeling himself. He was hot in the pants. You know what I'm saying? Like the sayings that my predecessors would tell us, or my greats, my grandpas, my grandmoms. They would tell us these things. You know what I'm saying? So, like when you about to, if you're young, you're getting ready to leave the house, your mom or your grandpa looks at you or your dad looks at you and says, where do you think you're going? Looking all, you know what I'm saying? Looking all hot in the pants like that. Or, I don't know what old heads be saying, bro. Old heads be saying shit like that. But he started to feel a big head. He got the big head. And when you think about cybersecurity or the cyberspace, once you conquer that, you do have the ability to use it for good or bad. When you think about it, you got the ability to use that skill trait for good or bad. He must have taken what he learned in that course, fueled with all this passion from his father, his parents, his mom, and mixed it together in this big pot and said, you know what? I don't even have to follow the rules anymore. I can create my own rules, decode my rules, download my rules, turn them into other rules, set them in front of other people for a manual, and I can do my own thing. You know what I'm saying? Even though I was given the best, I was giving the best upbringing, damn near. I was given the world. And I still found the streets. I still turned to drugs. I still turned to this forward way of living my life. Life is funny, boy, I tell you. That's interesting. Let's go back a little bit. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm gonna probably play it from the top again just so y'all can get we can all get the full picture without me pausing so much, but I just be, the gears be spinning listening to this guy, man.
24, he makes the Forbes list, they're applauding his name. 25, and his daddy tells him, listen here, son, while you're sitting in that palace, that don't mean that you won. 26, a business shift, he switches business to arms. He's 27, dealing nuclear and shells in Iran. 28, inside the Senate, money bought him a seat. He's 29, a role of counsel in the president's suite. Now he's 30, his daddy says you're losing the race. You're just a servant to the king, not even in second place. 31, a big maneuver for his daddy's approval.
Hold on, man. Wait a minute. Wait a fucking minute. Wait a minute. I'm gonna have to read these lyrics. I'm gonna have to, bro. I'm gonna go back a little bit further and read these lyrics so I don't miss a goddamn thing.
Deposits, 21, his income rockets. 22, he learns that truth is just an obstacle to wealth. If you manipulate the data, then the lie will sell itself. 23, a life of luxury, crystal and cocaine. 24, he makes the Forbes list, they're applauding his name. 25, and his daddy tells him, listen here, son, while you're sitting in that palace, that don't mean that you won. 26, a business shift, he switches business to arms. He's 27, dealing nuclear and shells in Iran. 28, inside the Senate, money bought him a seat. He's 29, a role of counsel in the president's suite. Now he's 30, his daddy says you're losing the race. You're just a servant to the king, not even in second place.
See, okay, boom. Now we getting somewhere. We starting to understand a little bit more. I did already mention that his dad needs to slow down a little bit. Back the fuck up. Back the fuck up. You gave your son some decent morals in the beginning, but now he in his 30s. What do you mean he's just a servant in the race, or a servant to the king, not even second place, losing the race? Back the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Just back the fuck up.
Daddy says you're losing the race. You're just a servant to the king, not even in second place. 31, a big maneuver for his daddy's approval. Moving imports over borders from the exports out of Cuba. 32, moving grams, growing kilos to tons. He's 33, filling warehouses with powder and guns. 34, turf war with nobody to stop it. Blind eye from the po-po inside of his pocket.
Let me read that one more time. Because when he said a big maneuver for his daddy's approval, moving imports over borders from the exports out of Cuba. That might be an important place to focus on for a second too. Because if the dad's the reason that this motherfucker, Jimmy, decided to start moving drugs around for his daddy's approval, then that pretty much put the icing on it. right there. You know what I'm saying? If you started to move them big imports of drugs around, but I don't think that's what happened. I don't think that's it, man. Because his dad was the dad was pushing him in a more positive direction growing up. A big maneuver for his daddy's approval, moving imports over borders from the exports out of Cuba. We don't know exactly what that is, but then that was at 31 years old. Then 32, he started moving grams, going kilo to tons. He's 33, filling warehouses with powder and guns. 34, turf war, with nobody to stop it. Blind eye from the popo inside of his pocket. That's another one I wanted to touch on. What did he mean by that? Blind eye from the popo inside of his pocket? Did he lose an eye? From the popo inside of his pocket. Yeah, y'all gotta explain that one to me, alright? That's if y'all make it this far in the video. Okay. Who knows, man? Maybe all the business switching and getting in the arms maybe got to their heads a little. Maybe it got to his dad's head, and maybe it got to the son's head, and maybe they did go into business, the drug business together. You know what I'm saying? Essentially, with his daddy calling the shots. Maybe that's kind of what happened. You know what I'm saying? Because if that maneuver, a big maneuver for his daddy's approval, moving imports over borders from the exports out of Cuba, is a line that is supposed to paint the picture of drug moving, then his daddy definitely called the shots with that one. You know what I'm saying? Which is definitely a gasp moment. Because how the fuck you gonna get your son in the best schools just to push him to get in the drug game and start, you know what I'm saying? Like, what kind of thirst was dad having that his own life didn't see? Oh, I want my son to not only be a scholar, but a dope boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, what type of shit? A well-off businessman in all areas? I don't know. That was just kind of leaving me stumped.
35, he gets the call. I'm sorry, son, but it's your father. Had a heart attack, I'm sorry, he's gone. 36, getting pissed off, abusing his product. 37, eyes glazed, disposition demonic. 38, with a prostitute, a moment of passion. Heating up a silver spoon and then chasing the dragon. 39, getting reckless.
That's important too. Hold on, that's important too. Let me go back. Getting pissed off, abusing his product. Eyes glazed, disposition demonic, with a prostitute, a moment of passion, heating up the silver spoon and then chasing the dragon. Oh, that boy on that. He on that goddamn heroin. He on that heroin. He on that heroin. See, I missed that the first time. Gotta slow it down. You know what I'm talking about? Let's jump back in there.
His disposition demonic. 38, with a prostitute, a moment of passion, heating up a silver spoon and then chasing the dragon. 39, getting reckless and hungry for power. Daddy's words are still driving him to kill and devour. Makes a move against the cartel.
Yeah. In his 30s, from like 24 to his 30s, I think dad probably had a change of heart, bro. Dad had a change of heart and said, hey, you got to get this shit how you get it, son. And you got to really hit the streets. You got to hit Cuba. You got to hit the dope boys up. Because we need that strong, good dope. And we need to export it. With all of these arms, we need to get all that shit together. Alcohol, all of this shit, because you are merely still a servant. You got to really run it all. Not just the business aspect. You got to run the streets too. You got to run the whole fucking different continents and countries and all this shit. Cartels, motherfucker. Yeah, daddy was on some bullshit.
Why these words are still driving him to kill and devour. Makes a move against the cartel, but the strategy's flawed. They retaliate and leave him in a hospital ward. A bullet buried in his vertebra and one in his leg. The doctor sighs and says, I don't think you'll be walking again. Fuck. Let me tell you a story about a boy named Jimmy. He was 40 and he cursed the words, mine, mine, gimme. 41 he wasn't walking, 42 not walking quickly, 43 never running round the pavements of his city, 44 inside a palace with a mountain of gold. But those riches turn to rubble when perspective evolves. Weighing heavy on his conscience is the value of gold. Lamborghini for a life, trading money for souls. Jimmy followed the code inside the land of the free. Put your hand inside the cookie jar, take more than you need. And his example is exaggerated versions of me. And it's a version of him, and it's a version of she, and it's a version of you. There's no escaping the blame. The way we live is parasitic. Fuck the money and fame. Cut the music. This isn't entertainment. This is real life. The way we live is lunacy, community, it declines. Hyperpolarized, always fighting, then we divide. Truth is less important than the money that we designed. Money's an invention. Politics from our invention. They all come from people's ideas. Did I mention? Border's an invention. Law and order fuel the tension. It leads to people killing each other. My solution?
I know it's some freaked out ass chicks at home right now. Take it off. Ooh, take it off, Rick. Take it off right now. Ah. Shut up. Really good camera, good angles, quality.
Everything is subject to change. We could build utopias if individuals were taught to use their brains. But if we teach kids in schools to always be sheep and put themselves before the herd if there's more money for me, then there's no future I see where the humans survive. We're parasites inside a petri dish with cannibal minds. Mold will grow upon the surface and consumes till it dies. And our fate could be the same without this story to the wise. "45. Jimmy comes home out of the rain, soaking wet upon a wheelchair, drinking again. He is everything he wants, he is fortune and fame. He's a fortunate fool with an unfortunate fate. With a 45 caliber aimed at his brain. 45 a fitting number cause his age is the same. Here's the words of his father, it's such a damn shame. Then he presses on the trigger of a money game.
So that's just where my mind went with that, man. I think the dad was, I don't think he was always corrupt. I think at a point he just became corrupt. I think he wanted the best for his son, and he just let greed get in the way of that. He probably let a version of himself that he wanted to see happen in real life. Like he let that go by, but he saw it in his son and he recreated that for his son to live out. Father was a huge influence. I don't know where mom was, but wow, that was a good one. Definitely a lot of like open doors with this one. A lot of open doors, y'all. So yeah, I think my art to that one remains very valid. I'm gonna show y'all one more time, just in case y'all want to see it. I did this art, you already know, on part one, and I let that kind of be the theme for each of the videos. So if y'all wanted to bid on that, I would appreciate that. I'm getting ready to get out of here. This one probably gonna be one that I think about for a while. You know what I'm saying? I think this one was very dope. I think this is a turning point for a lot of his listeners. Probably y'all really started to dial in after this, maybe way before this, but this was the one that probably put y'all on the edge of y'all seat a little bit. But I'm sure he got a whole lot more wild ass videos and perspectives to delve into. But I hope y'all enjoyed my crazy ass talking to y'all. You know what I'm saying? I would appreciate it if y'all go buy some of this stuff, man. Buy some of my shirts at my store. My link is in the description. You know, let's support each other, right? Y'all said a rising tide lifts all ships. That's what Ren goes by. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? We all going by it then. You know what I'm saying? Just because it's a money game, don't mean that these bills stop. It don't mean that we can just wake up and the world is free again. You know, the world is, it's just free shit everywhere. We get to indulge in it. No, we still got shit to take care of. So I appreciate y'all for popping through here, watching this with me, talking to me. Make sure y'all leave some comments down below. Share. And yeah, don't recommend any more Ren videos yet. We are getting ready to stream Sick Boy album. We getting ready to stream it. Review it together once I figure out how to do it. Okay, it's just a little learning curve, but I'll get over it. Sorry, this almost went to an hour. I hope that y'all don't mind. But hey, man, say man, y'all know who the fuck it is. And I'm out this.